As I moved to a new place and into a new chapter of my life, I forgot to bring the books along. There was just too much of luggage. But I definitely needed my daily dose of reading, and for those times, devices like Kindle are very beneficial. I love my Kindle. I have talked about it in past in my channel, on my channel. And today I just want to talk about a few books that I really like having on my Kindle. All of them are not something I have read, but they are on my TBR. Some of them I have read and I have enjoyed. So I'll be talking about those like 10 to 15 books that I really want to talk to you guys about that are on my Kindle. So let's get started. Hi there, this is Manpreet. I make book related videos on this channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. And now let's discuss the books that are on my Kindle. In case you want to buy a Kindle device, this is Kindle Paperwhite. I absolutely love it. I have more videos about it, a review about it. I'll put it down below in the description. Just go and check it out if you want to buy a device like this. And if you're traveling, this is quite handy. Anyway, number one book is my current read, Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. This is by the author of The Girl on the Train, which is one of my favorite psychological thrillers. And this is super good. I'm 22% done with this book. The book is set in this place where there's a river, and there is a point where people go to commit suicide. And our protagonist, this girl's sister, is now dead, and they say that she jumped into the water and something happened. They are not sure what, and slowly it's building up to be a psychological thriller that I feel like I'll enjoy a lot. So yeah, that is number one book on my Kindle right now. Number two book was something I had borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. That is a subscription that I often keep for myself, so that I can just try out new books. And this is not a very new book, but it's a very popular book, Seven Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen R. Covey. Now there are so many summaries out there on YouTube, and a lot of you come to me and say, Manpreet, do we really need to read the whole book? Can't we just read that summary? The thing is, you can see what are the seven habits, but would you ever go and adopt those seven habits without any context? I doubt that. The whole book gives you that context, which is one of the reasons why I'm against book summaries like these. Like, there are book summaries that are good. For example, if you're reading a sequel, you might want to know what happened in the book one if you read it a long time back. Those are the summaries I enjoy myself. But these kind of summaries, I feel like they're useless. If you want to spend like 12 minutes, 15 minutes of your time watching a YouTube video which you will not act on, go ahead and do not read a book like this. But otherwise, you might want to try Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I have not read it completely, but I have enjoyed whatever I have read, and this is something on my TBR for sure. Now, I have done my very famous author series video. It's not that famous. Anyway, I love the author series that I do, and I think you guys love it too, and more videos are coming up soon in that. But I recently did, like a couple of months ago, before I went on a break, I did a video on Meenak Dhar, and I love his writing. I have read Sniper's Eye by him, and Sniper's Jet is available on Kindle Unlimited basically for free if you have the subscription. And I have that book. I want to read it super soon. It's the second book in the 7 series, and oh my god, if you have not read Sniper's Eye, which I feel like if you're new on the channel, you may not have read it, but otherwise everybody knows Manpreet loves Sniper's Eye, and this is a sequel, so I definitely have it and I'll be reading it super soon. So it's on my Kindle right now. Another book that I bought myself on my Kindle was Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. It is about, like, when we talk about lost opportunities, it is a book that gives you a context on that, and that teaches you on how to act and how not to be a complainer who is about, somebody moved my cheese, and who is always complaining about, I didn't get that opportunity, or they just don't come to me and stuff like that. This book has been recommended by a lot of business mentors, and not just online, but even the ones I know in the real world, in the world out of the internet. So I have wanted to read this book a lot, but I'd never got to it, so I bought it on my Kindle. And the thing about Kindle, I am going to praise it because the video is about the books on my Kindle device. The thing about them is that these kind of books are very expensive if you buy them in paperback format, but the prices are almost half if you buy them in ebook format, or even lesser than that. So I bought this book here so that, first of all, I love reading the books like this, because then the highlights and the notes, they are stored in my Goodreads account, and that's very beneficial as well. So I bought this book, and I am very excited to read it. I actually am done with 20% of this book, and I have enjoyed it so far. Another book that I bought on my Kindle myself, not as a subscription or anything, but this is something I bought, and this is from the very few celebrity friends I have. Shrey Rai Tiwari is almost a swimmer. Now, he has been into swimming, and he wrote a book about it during the lockdown. And I have been very excited about it. I'm 20% done with this book, although I would say that I am a person who does not know a thing about swimming. So I have been reading it, but I don't think I'm the best audience for it. So do check it out if you are fascinated with this sport. Another book that I bought myself was Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson. Now, this is a long book, and I'm 5% done with it. I have wanted to read this book since so long, and I think you are seeing the pattern, right? I like to buy non-fictions, autobiographies, biographies on my Kindle, because I feel like they're easier to read in this format. First of all, you read faster on Kindle. That's just my personal experience. I don't know if it's really true for everybody. Then you can do the notes and highlights, and it's all stored automatically. I like that about the reading on Kindle, because I often lose my notebooks. I have been keeping notebooks, and I love them. I love keeping the notebooks, but I often lose them, so I never get to rereading my notes. That is quite pointless, because if I read the whole book and then I just forgot about it, it's very pointless. So keeping in touch with the notes is very important, which is something that is easier with a Kindle device. So yeah, I have Losing My Virginity, which is in my TBR. This is a book by Richard Branson, who is a very famous business tycoon, and this is his autobiography. And people say it's very inspiring. It gives you a lot of lessons, and I really want to read it super soon. Then 13% done with Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Now, this is sort of like a horror book, and it's a classic. So I don't think I'm very well versed with reading classics. I have read quite a few children's classics now, but there are some books that are challenging. I am 13% done with it. I got fascinated with this because I read The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and there are a lot of references in a lot of books regarding the Frankenstein monster. So I wanted to read it, and I have started it. We'll get there. We'll get to finishing this book and discussing more about it later on. But this one is actually totally free. Even if you do not have the Kindle Unlimited subscription, you just have your Kindle device or even the Kindle app on your phone, which I feel like is little harder to read on. But if you have a Kindle app or the Kindle device, you can actually go to Amazon.in, find this book, and just download it for free. No charges, no subscription, not at all. So this is one of those books that I got on my Kindle. Another book that I have, that I bought, I think, was 21 Anmol Kahaniyan by Premchand. These are like 21 short stories by a very famous Hindi author, Premchand, and I have read 31% of this book. I feel like it's a classic, and I am not very, right now, not very fond of Premchand's writing, because I'm making my way through it. Once I've read like a lot of it, I think I love it. So it's quite like dated as well. Like now, so many years have passed, so I felt like I could not get in touch with it that much. But then again, Premchand is one of the authors that is always in the to read list when it comes to Hindi writing, Hindi literature. So I have it, 31% done with it. Will complete it soon, I think. Another book that I bought on my Kindle was The Stand by Stephen King. Now, this is the one that I bought back in like March, because at that time, coronavirus thing was just getting bigger and bigger and scarier in India and all over the world. Understand, this book is also about this mysterious virus that wipes most of the population on Earth, and stuff like that. So the theme was quite like apocalyptic, and I love apocalyptic movies and books. I mean, I recently finished watching The Wave, which is not that apocalyptic but a disaster movie, and then I finished watching Train to Busan, which is an amazing zombie apocalypse movie. So I just love it. I think you guys know it, right? My existing subscribers definitely know how much I love apocalyptic movies and all, and shows as well. So this is a book that I downloaded, bought, but this is not something I have started reading yet, but I'll get to it soon, because I love Stephen King's writing. I have read Doctor Sleep, I have read The Shining, I have read half or more than half of Pet Cemetery, more than half of it. So I really am into it. Anyway, next book is something that I borrowed on Prime Reading, and I do have the paperback copies of this as well, which is Harappa by Vineet Bajpai. 34% done with it. I have tried reading this book like 3 times just for you guys, because every few months, some of you come to me and ask me, Manpreet, if you're going to read Harappa trilogy. I try, but then I never get anywhere with them, but I do have it because I borrowed it on Prime Reading, and they just don't ask back. Yeah, when it's a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you borrow a certain number of books, then they ask you to return one to get another one. It works like a library subscription, but this one they never ask back, so I have it. Another one that I am very excited and that I borrowed from Prime Reading was the PCOD thyroid book by Rujuta Divekar. Now, PCOD thyroid, these disorders and these medical conditions are increasingly affecting all the people around me. So I wanted to read this book just to have more knowledge about it. And Rujuta Divekar is one of the very famous people in India who writes on exercising, weight loss, and these kind of things. So I really wanted to read this book. I have it, will make my way through it soon. Another book that I got for free, I mean, just went there, searched for this book on Amazon.in and downloaded, was The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle. I always say Conan, it's Conan or something like that. Anyway, this is about this lost world. This is about this a person who goes on a project, I think, and discovers this amazing lost world. And I did try reading it, 6% done with it, but never got anywhere with it. I'll get to it soon. And with that, I have also the complete Christmas books and stories by Charles Dickens, which is again something, one of the classics that I want to read. It does have a lot of classics inside it. I think I got it on Kindle Unlimited. It doesn't say here, but I do think, because I changed accounts and then something happened and I got to keep this book and I never bought it and I never had to give it back to Kindle Unlimited people. So I have it and I'll read it soon. Anyway, I also have Vlog Like a Boss by Amy. Now, Amy Landino is a person I follow on YouTube and she makes amazing videos. So I bought this book quite a long time back. It is about how to kill it online with video blogging. I did not finish the book. I read 61% of it and I want to finish it soon. Another book that really helped me, and I never finished it, but 47% done with it, and that was Feeling Good, the New Mood Therapy by David D. Burns. And it's a book that I really enjoyed because, this was a book that I picked up when I was not feeling that good. I was having a lot of anger issues and I needed something to help me out with controlling my emotions. And I feel like this book, although I did not finish it, whatever I read, that gave me a direction. And after that, I worked on it. This was like 1.5 years back. And the direction this book gave me, that really helped me out. I feel like I'm a much better person, and not for myself, but for the other people who love me and who care about me. I'm a much better person for them because of this book. So I really like it. I never finished it, but this really helped me. The 47% I read really helped me out. So I am really excited, and I will finish this book someday when I need it more. But just 47% of it helped me so much. All the books that I'm mentioning here are linked down below in the description if you want to check them out, or if you want to buy them or borrow them, whatever. All the links are in the description. Anyway, I also have Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. 38% done with it. Now, if you don't know, I have read the third book in this trilogy without knowing that that was the third book in the trilogy, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, Rich People Problems. But then I thought I should also read the first book, but then it got boring. So I had to, like, soft DNF it. Like, I did not finish reading, and I decided to not finish reading it, but I might get to it one day, maybe when I'm on a beach vacation, maybe when I can travel. I'll definitely get to it again. I do not want to make this video very long, so I have a few classics that I have again got for free from Amazon.in because they are in public domain, which I would just name: Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Mrs. Dalloway, The Adventures of Pinocchio, Notes from the Underground, The Time Machine, All of these are classics that I got for free because they're available for free on Amazon.in. Apart from that, I also have John Sanford's Prey series first book, Rules of Prey. Now, I have read, I don't know the number of the book, but I read one John Sanford Prey series book and I loved it so much. It's sort of like a detective novel, but a thriller, detective thriller. And I really wanted to start the series from the beginning. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm really, really, excited for this. So, yeah, if you are looking for a long series of detective thrillers, you might want to check out this book. Coming down to the last few books that I am excited about having on my Kindle. One is the Sialkot Saga by Ashwin Sanghi. Again, this was a glitch. I don't know how it happened. I had a Kindle Unlimited subscription from a different Amazon account, and when I switched, somehow these books never went back automatically, and I have these books on my Kindle permanently now. I should not have them, but now I have them, and I kind of paid for it, so I am gonna read it. The Sialkot Saga is again Ashwin Sanghi book. I have read a couple of Ashwin Sanghi books now, and I am actually very excited about getting to this one as well. And I also have If God Was a Banker by Ravi Subramaniam. Now, one of you actually asked me if I have read any Ravi Subramaniam books, and this was one of the books that I started reading. I read about 50% of it, then lost touch with it. But maybe one day when I'm looking for the thriller to recommend to you guys, I will pick up another Ravi Subramaniam book. If you have any suggestions, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll highly appreciate that. And lastly, I have this book, 15% done with it. It's called ABCs of Horror by Anmol Rawat, a collection of horror short stories. Whatever I have read so far in the 15% is something I have liked, but I have not finished it. And this is a season, I'm that person who likes to read horror, cold, chilling thrillers in the winters, in the chilly winters. So I might get to this book very soon now because I'm super excited about reading these kind of books. And yes, these are all the books that are there on Manpreet's Kindle. And I really hope they give you some ideas on, what books you can pick, and the kind of collections you can get on a Kindle device and as ebooks, or even if you want to buy some of these books as paperbacks. I hope you got some ideas. So if you think you did, and if you like this video, please, please, please comment down below, because you guys know that your comments mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Melby signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.